Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pub Talk here today. I know it's going to sound a little bit different for you, but guess what? The pub is packed.
You're going to have to
tonight.
be louder than that, brother,
Sorry.
because we're getting this shit going.
Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started off, though. But today we're going to talk about.
Come on. What big boy voice?
You want me to talk big?
Yeah.
Fine. Viggs, Lucas, welcome back into the house.
It's great to be
Coach,
back. I
as
can't wait to
always,
dominate Josh
here.
in every debate.
The pub is full tonight, so if I get a little loud,
It's okay.
It's
You got to get animated.
I know.
Got to freak them out a little bit.
But this episode of Pub Talk is brought to you by Route 11 Chips. I got a new phone. I forget what I have to say here, but you guys are awesome. Welcome
Hey,
back.
they've been around since 1992. They got a wide variety of chips. If you're not freaking trying to find some in Giant, Martin's, and Food Line, wherever there's one available, they're in freaking, I don't know how many
Sheets.
different convenience
Got my
stores.
sheets.
They got them all over the place. Plus, you can get online at route11.com and get out your chips. Some of the best flavors. If you're not trying lightly salted as your first
my
potato
God,
chip,
yes.
you bumped your fucking
We
head.
got a live
Good
show
stuff.
going on for you, so join in on the show. Give us your thoughts because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, if you're
here
out there
today.
and you can hear the show, let's get in here. Call us
So,
in.
What
We'll get
I
you
want to
on.
start off
Get
with
you on the
today,
show.
though, that the Super Bowl is set. And it's the unlikeliest matchup that you probably ever thought of. Well, I mean, probably never thought of, but like the Bungles of Cincinnati have reached the Super Bowl,
Long shot at best, right?
and the Rams are going to face the Bungles. I got to ask you, though, real quick, who do you got going right now for it?
I have a prediction.
What's the pub say?
I have
Rams. What's the pub say about Super Bowl?
If you pick the
Bengals.
Rams,
I think,
leave.
I think we're split. I think we're split over there.
I want to hear Josh's prediction on the Super Bowl first before I say mine.
That is Vix that he is talking
Yeah,
about.
I have a
Big
code. I have a
sorry.
code. I have a
You
code
don't-
name.
You
I
don't
have a
put
code
apologies.
name here.
names in
Big
here,
enough.
sir. Thank
It's
you.
like it's like.
All right, Biggs, let's hear it.
All right, yeah. It's like, so it's like I was telling CJ before the show. I'm, genuinely happy for the Bengals because they're the first time, literally, since I've been alive that they're relevant.
Viggs
32.
and I are Steeler fans.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they've endured a lot of pain. They have.
First time in 32 years that they're relevant. So I'm also a Pitt fan, like
Yeah.
for University of Pittsburgh
University.
fan. So
Yep.
Eat shit.
Pitt, yeah.
Pitt
So
Eat shit,
I,
Pitt.
I want
Shit on
Aaron
Pitt.
I want Aaron Donald to get a ring because that's literally the only thing he hasn't
But I
won.
want TJ Watt to get DPOY.
True. Yes.
I don't think Aaron Donald should touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Well, there's
compared
no
to what
way.
TJ Watt did this year.
Exactly.
TJ Watt should have won it last
Well,
year. but he
obvious-
did-
obviously.
I know. We can agree.
But it's rigged. You know how this stuff is. But I'm also want Tyler Boyd to get a championship because he's, like I was telling you, he's probably one of the top 2 high school football players I've ever seen in my entire life play. That was just outrageous, just
Tyler
phenomenal.
Boyd or Aaron Donald?
Tyler Boyd,
Okay, yeah.
just all 3 phases of the game. Quarterback.
He played with Connor, right? At Pitt. James Conner?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But all 3 phases: special
Yeah.
teams, offense, defense. Just I've never seen someone other than Micah Parsons live. 2 freaks of nature. But
By the way, got the Butkus Award this year for the best linebacker.
so
He's a little good. Harrisburg Cougars, baby.
Hey, man, he won the fastest man competition in the Pro Bowl.
Harrisburg Cougars. He's
he beat out
freaking.
Tyreek Hill, tripped over himself. So I don't know.
How crazy is that you have a linebacker who can run with Tyreek Hill?
I mean, have you seen him with his
Yeah.
shirt off? Like, he is a scary dude.
Yeah, he's a specimen,
Yeah.
all right.
Go ahead, though.
but
So what's your pick?
So
now?
my pick
You
is,
slobbered all over
I
freaking
know.
Aaron Donald's and
I
Ty
know.
Boyd's salon.
I know it's
Just
the
gives him a
fuck?
good stroke.
it's a toss up. I want to see Joe Burrow smoke another cig. So
Hell
I'm going.
yeah.
I'm going.
I wanna
The
see him give
Bungles.
that to the
Aaron
camera,
Donald
put it
already did it.
I want
Oh
to.
yeah, put a ring when you're going
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I know. So I'm gonna go Bengals, but it's gonna be a McPherson winner.
You
And he's
think?
As
gonna hit
time
the giddy, and
expires.
he's gonna hit the giddy right there.
So I'm gonna say
Hit
something
it.
something about maybe 27-24.
I'm
All right.
taking the Rams 27-24.
Why the fuck are you here? Why did I invite you on
Go
the fourth
Rams.
mic, man?
You know what? If you go back through the playoffs, and I thought about this long, and I just when I look at the playoffs, if you'd have told me that Cincinnati would have made the freaking Super Bowl, I probably would have laughed at you, just because
Everyone would have
right.
probably.
You give up 9 sacks
To
to
yes.
Tennessee. You give up 9 sacks, and then you find a way to win that game. Okay, you're not supposed to beat Kansas City.
No,
Kansas
you're
City.
not.
Tannehill did throw 3 interceptions.
Well,
okay.
Well, but
Yeah,
but
you're not
one on his
Fuck
first pass and
Tannehill.
one on his last pass. Yes.
right. But
but they had no business being there this year.
right.
Sure.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Cincinnati.
No. I'm saying like in the Super Bowl.
Are you talking about the Cincinnati?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
we're talking about.
All right, just want to make sure you're
Why
not
the
talking
fuck-
shit
Why are you
about
getting-
my
why are
Titans.
you
you
getting-
so
why-
heated right
Aren't
now?
you aren't you a Titans fan?
Well,
That's who I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking shit about my
no.
Titans. Big
Oh my god.
Dude's about to rip off his jacket and everything over
He's
here.
telling me talk
No,
about
my
because
whole-
his old lady's here.
He called her old. I got shoes older than her.
Go ahead.
No
Go
fun.
ahead. Though,
Oh
Coach.
no! So what I
Tell your
just sort of
40-minute
figured.
monologue.
Well, once they got by the Titans, okay. I think the Titans had an opportunity and they let it get away. It just got away from them, and then they so they give up the win to freaking Cincinnati. But if you'd have told me that Cincinnati would fall down 21-3 against freaking Kansas City, who was on cruise control in the first half,
Oh,
they
yeah.
couldn't miss a throw. They couldn't do. There wasn't anything they could do wrong. And then it came down to the freaking block punt.
Well, it also came down to the idioticness of Andy Reid and calling that at the end of the second quarter, at the end of half.
It was like,
Like-
Kyle Shanahan was
Like
with them
what?
as well.
I don't understand the concept of why they're throwing backwards passes on the 1 yard line.
You know as well as I
Like-
do, I have never liked throwing the
why?
ball sideways. When you have a guy like Tyreek Hill and you got a tight end like freaking Kelsey, you can't tell me you can't mix up. What happened to that shovel pass?
Okay.
The things that they
Give me your
did.
pick, 'cause we're
So
talking about it anyway.
I just don't know. I want to say it again. I just don't know that Cincinnati has enough to beat the Rams. I just don't. The Rams pass rush is exceptional. Their secondary is exceptional. I just don't know that they have enough to beat them. But would it surprise me if they did?
No.
Absolutely not. I will not be astonished if they find a way to win. Not at all.
I get what you're saying, but for me, I am going Cincy because, like, dude, Joe Burrow has been one of my favorite players to watch. After, like, because I was a Trevor Lawrence homer whenever, like, the national championship
Right,
happened. I'm
right.
like, look, Trevor Lawrence is going to win this thing, and then Joe Burrow is literally, smoking a cigar and making the "give me a ring."
Yeah, he made it look easy.
I fell
Made it
in
look
love
easy.
with him right
Yeah.
there because, like,
He just has that
And then-
swagger about him that you can't deny.
But,
No.
but then it's like what happened with Tampa last year, where it's like that defense of Cincinnati was like, I got you.
Right.
I'm going to shut out Patty Mahomes, and I'm going to make it through. But we'll talk about that a little here, like coming up right here. But I'm going with Cincinnati. So let's go ahead and talk about the playoffs, though. Because Cincinnati, they had a interesting, because the last time we talked was they were going to play Las Vegas. They beat Las Vegas in a pretty good game. Then they go to Tennessee. They beat Tennessee. Tannehill has a nightmare game, basically, and just throws 3 picks. Cincinnati wins that game. And then they go to Kansas City. And that
Yeah.
Kansas City game, man,
It was
Kansas
crazy.
City shouldn't have fucking been there in the first place because that defense of Buffalo made me almost punch a hole in my wall.
Oh,
With the
yeah.
13 seconds
Wow.
left, I go, you play prevent defense?
I don't understand it,
Yeah.
but they were playing like they were up 6.
They were
Like
playing
why?
to not lose instead
Why?
of playing to win. And that is 100% the truth because Josh Allen, I feel so sad for him. I do because he played a perfect game essentially in that game against Kansas City.
I know. I'm with you, CJ. I'm just
the Rams guy got back from the bathroom. Sorry. So
I'm back.
And so, but Josh Allen played a perfect game, and that Kansas City shouldn't have fucking been there. They shouldn't.
I'm just confused as to why you're in a prevent defense up. Not a touchdown. Like if it's not a touchdown, why are you in a prevent? You need to at least double Tyreek and let Kelsey
pressure him.
or do something.
Pressure him
Or-
at least. Give him 6 seconds off.
I mean,
the
I
fucking
just
clock.
but
Get
the
Kelsey
other
to a
que-
Hail Mary.
so the special teams guy coming out at me is I know there was still time on the clock, but it's also talking about the special teams aspect. Squib kick. Do you squib it? But I
Earn
don't.
some time. Prevent them.
You never know what can happen with a squib. It could deflect off a leg
I
or
hate,
something
I
like
hate
that.
scenario where
But-
people are like, "Why didn't you just squib kick?"
But
Because,
it's
you
it's
don't know
also
what
it also
happens.
you can never know what happened, but like still, might take 3 extra seconds.
But you
Maybe.
don't play prevent
I know.
defense.
I know.
You
There was a lot of
don't.
questionable coaching decisions in a 13-second block of time that I don't think I've ever seen before in my life.
We have 3 coaches on the mics right
Yeah.
now, and I would hope that every single one of them would say, you don't play prevent defense in this situation.
Yeah,
13 seconds.
only
Against
up by
Pat-
3 in the NFL with guys that can make 60-yard field goals. That's
Against
a tough.
Pat Mahomes?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
tough
that's
situation.
true.
scared.
That's a really good point, Lucas. You got to think about the fact of how accurate guys like Butker are, guys who can drive the ball. Justin Tucker. You got even the young kid from McPherson. What he hit a 52-yarder, and if you're within that 50-yard range, you risk losing. So why did you play prevent? Why didn't you play your base defense, which is what got you there in the first place?
I know.
That game had me going crazy. But going on to the championship game where Kansas City was up 21-3, it was like it was over essentially until that goal line stop that Cincinnati had going into the half.
I swear that's where the
Oh, it's a
momentum
game
changed.
changer.
That's where the momentum of that game changed.
It tells your defense and it tells your defensive coordinator, we can fucking do this, guys. It's not rocket surgery. It's not rocket surgery.
Well,
we could do this.
It was classic Andy Reid clock management. I mean, it came
Has
through
it
once
happened
again.
multiple times?
Definitely.
Okay.
It's a known thing that Andy screws up the clock. And it came through again.
We have a couple Eagles fans in the house that they can tell us. So, but
Pat, Andy Reid's clock management, pretty poor, right?
Yeah.
It's a known thing. Yeah.
if you didn't hear it, they said poor. Anyway, 21-3. Then Joe Shiesty shows up or Joe. I can't roll my R's.
Joe Burr.
So
I can't
Joe
do it
Burr.
either.
None of us can roll our R's. I mean, the history is written right there where
Joe
basically.
But that's what he loves, that kind of pressure. Joe Burrow thrives. Like he's like, fuck this. I know what I'm doing.
Kansas City
I'm
fans
coming back.
freaking
Like
out.
he does not care.
Kansas City fans say, "Oh, our stadium's pretty loud." When he said, "Like, yeah, SEC stadiums are louder than NFL stadiums." When he said that back in October, and Kansas City fans were like, "We'll fucking show you, man. I'll fucking show you what a loud stadium is," and you lose. And not only that, Pat Mahomes played like shit in the second half. You know how many total yards they had in the second half?
Not very much.
80. They
Yeah.
had 80 yards.
And so I guess my question is, why'd they get away from the run game? Because they were running the ball pretty well in the first half. Why'd they get away?
Jared McKinnon was going.
Why did they get away from it? That's again. This is what happens when the head coach calls the plays.
Yeah.
I think.
No, Eric Bieniemy is the play caller, but
And
I see Eric Bieniemy talking.
I see him too, but I think Andy Reid, because you always see Andy Reid talking though too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's
The NFL's biggest mystery. Who calls the play? I think it's Bieniemy, but it's like a common.
I'm
But
almost
but is
certain-
is
Well,
it?
Bieniemy's going to the Saints now.
Is that official?
I
would hope
thinking.
so,
I would
right?
hope so. Oh my
I would
God!
hope so.
I'm telling you what. I don't want to say it, but freaking Jameis Winston's going to get better because Eric Bieniemy is going to be
Yes.
fucking training him. How do you think that? I just thought that the Bears would go after Bieniemy, a young guy, to hone Justin Fields'
go after
skills.
Matt Ifers.
But I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. We could talk. They don't understand. They don't understand.
Hey Pat.
They know
got
they know what the tap means.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like Kansas City. This is just me personally. I didn't want Kansas City to win it all. It's not good for the sport.
No.
It's not good for
Thanks, man.
anything
Appreciate
to have a repeat
Yeah.
champion. And I was cheering my dick off for Joe Burrow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want. So
I really
I didn't
was.
realize this, but he would be the first Heisman Trophy winner, national champion to win a Super Bowl.
Dude, that would be awesome.
It's only been a national champion and
And a Super
a
Bowl
Super Bowl. It's never been all three. He would be the first. How crazy is that?
Who was the first to win the national championship and then win
I
a Super Bowl?
don't know that, but I just know that it's all three.
Okay, all right.
Which, because I don't know. There's just something about the Joe Burrow like mystique. He's just like an average dude who's
He
out
doesn't
here.
give a fuck, man.
Who's out here?
He does.
I mean, but he actually calls out the media. You know,
no,
he
but I'm
doesn't
saying,
care.
Like, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
he just doesn't give a fuck. He hits the gap.
Joe Namath
he
was the
does
first
all
to
that
win the
stuff.
national
It's awesome.
championship 1965 and then
Who?
won
Broadway
the
Joe.
Super Bowl in
Broadway Joe.
69 against the Colts.
Jets
And I'm not here to
actually
say-
won something,
Yeah.
man.
I'm not here to say Joe Burrow is Tom Brady or the next Tom Brady, but he has the Tom Brady DNA in the sense
A
where
little bit,
you can't count him out, and like people are going to want to play with Joe Burrow. Like his teammates are going to ride with Joe Burrow,
Right.
and he's not the most talented dude, but guess what? Neither was Tom Brady. But they know Burrow's a dog, and it's just a dude you want to play with, and he's going to
Everybody
inspire
wants
his
to play with him.
teammates.
I mean,
and
just-
it'll make the team better.
Just think they chose Dwayne Haskins over Joe Burrow.
They chose him. They also chose. He was there for 7 years. What's his name? Oh my god! He literally played like 7 years in a row.
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett.
Yeah.
They chose him over Joe Burrow as well.
Yeah.
And then he transfers to LSU.
Makes zero
Yeah,
sense.
so-
And it was
he was like fourth on the depth chart, and JT Barrett was there, who's now playing in Canadian League, and then
Canada.
It
yeah,
really
Canadian.
benefited Joe Burrow though, because I mean, not to make this a scheme podcast, but a lot of Ohio State is the RPO quarterback run. That's not Joe Burrow's style. So would
Right.
Joe Burrow have been
Did you
Joe
not see some of
Burrow?
those runs that he had?
Right. Oh, he's an athlete, but it's
Okay.
not. He's not a
Talk
quarterback
about him
run
like that.
centric
Right.
offense. That's not.
Right.
That doesn't fit him.
That
and
doesn't fit him.
who knows if he would have been a number 1 overall pick in that
So-
Ohio State offense.
So transferring over to the NFC Championship game, you had the 49ers and the Rams playing for a third time this year. You're like, okay, whatever. But the biggest thing is that we said back at the draft, like, Trey Lance, is he really going to be the guy? And it's like, man, Jimmy G, man, he literally brought him to the playoffs, regardless of what you say.
He brought him to
about-
another NFC championship.
Exactly.
I mean, regardless, quote, everybody's gonna say defense won him that divisional game. That
Sure. And Cooper
And-
Kupp won the Rams the fucking championship game.
You
So
know-
what's
I'll
your
tell you
point?
Well, when you got to cover two guys like OBJ and Cooper Kupp and the tight end, I can't who got injured?
Tyler Higbee?
Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
When you
Who
got
may
to
not play though.
who may not play, because he got tweaked the knee pretty
He
bad.
got
So
himself Tyler Higbee.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Sorry.
So when you have two vertical threats,
And then
it takes a lot of pressure off of one of them because you can't double them both.
You can't.
but I'm saying Jimmy G, he wants to go to a winning team. Hey, I would gladly take him in Pittsburgh.
Why did
Uh,
he's not a
don't-
winning team? He played in the NFC Championship game.
No, but I'm saying they will trade him probably, for some draft picks and everything. Dude, Pittsburgh, take him.
Don't. No, I do not want him in Pittsburgh.
Why?
Aaron Rodgers is coming to Pittsburgh.
No, I do not want him either.
Why not?
You
I don't
want
want.
Deshaun Watson?
No.
Would you rather have Deshaun Watson?
They
Who
need
the
a.
fuck do you want?
I need a bridge quarterback.
All right,
give me a
let me
bridge
ask you
quarterback.
something. Here we go, CJ. It's the
Uh-oh,
moment we've been waiting
Here
for.
we go.
This is the moment we've been waiting for.
Mason Rudolph or Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson,
Oh,
hands
yeah,
down.
that's not
That's a
even close.
no-brainer.
Well, I mean, that's your current bridge quarterback right now. Who do you want?
I'm telling you, Dwayne Haskins is probably better than Mason Rudolph.
Marcus Mariota or Deshaun Watson?
Marcus Mariota.
Take care. I can't do this show with Big Enough. He's going to say
Why
Marcus
the fuck
Mariota
did
over
you
Deshaun
come here?
Watson. Marcus Mariota over Deshaun
Dude.
Watson. Are you serious?
Because there's so much legal clout right now.
Big Enough said Marcus Mariota. I can't even speak. I'm so flabbergasted by it. Marcus Mariota over Deshaun Watson. Get him! Get him! Get him! They're all getting you. They're all getting you, Big Enough. They're on my side.
The pub disagrees.
We
The
alerted
pub has
We
spoken.
alerted the pub. Sorry.
The pub disagrees.
Hey, Lucas. Shut up.
The pub has spoken.
The pub is drunk. Okay?
Wait, CJ, you'd rather have Mariota over Watson?
No, but
Well, then what are you getting all your panties in a wad
I'm
for?
just, excuse me.
Yeah. What do you think all this time off for Deshaun Watson does for him now? Away from the game.
That's a great point, but I mean,
And then when he comes back, he's going to face a backlash when he does
I mean,
return.
Mark,
If and when he
Mariota
does
hasn't
return.
had the
That is
best
true.
chance
So
in
you
the
never know.
NFL
I don't know.
because he's gone to a bad Titans team back when he was drafted, and then he's also been the backup to Derek Carr. because you're not going to start him over Derek Carr. So why not put him in an offense with speedy receivers like Claypool, Johnson,
And
you also
he
put
had
him with Najee Harris.
Najee.
Well,
Put him
here's
with
the only
terrible
thing. The only
offensive
thing
line.
about Marcus Mariota is the fact that he's not durable. He's
Correct.
not. He's
I agree
he's
with
been
that.
banged up,
How
and
dare you?
I'm just saying.
But he's
What-
true.
He
He's
might
true.
be a good fit. He might be a good fit, but overall, his
We got
endurance
off
and
I know.
long
kilter
term.
here
Yeah.
completely.
All
huh?
right.
All
Okay.
right, back
Rams.
to the Rams.
We know how Coach feels about Stafford and the Rams trade for
Yeah.
this past season.
I just think that
It's
was
a
shitty.
super team, essentially.
I think Jared Goff would have taken him to the same position.
Because he fucking did.
Right, he already did.
3 years ago, he
Right.
did take
Did
him
the
to
same
Super Bowl.
thing. He did the
Even
same
though it
exact
was the
thing.
worst call in NFL history, he still took them to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that was
Is-
against the Saints in the NFC Championship.
Is it ironic that Whitworth and the Bengals are in the Super Bowl at the same time?
Dude, right?
I love that.
Like that's hilarious. That's
And they
hilarious.
gonna win, and you still don't have shit with.
Like
Sorry.
I just think
He's a
that's
good guy.
funny, but
But
yeah.
it would have been kind of funny to see the Chiefs and the Rams after. Remember 3 years ago when that Monday night shootout happened? Where
Yeah.
It was like 54-51. But anyway, the Rams take it home, and I gotta tell you, man, I don't want a quarterback to be the MVP. I want Cooper Kupp to be the MVP because he, without a doubt, has single-handedly given his Rams team a chance at the Super Bowl.
But couldn't you say the same thing about Joe Burrow and how he single-handedly has
But
put?
he's not in the MVP race, though.
But that's what I'm saying is why not?
But I'm saying that Bucks game, that dime down the middle of the field, you fucking run cover 2 at the end of the game. But anyway, like that happened.
Middle of the
and
field
then
open, and where do
against-
they throw? In the middle of the field.
And then,
I fucking hate that.
in the game against the 49ers, what do they do again? They look for their guy, and he finds him. He's not Scotty Miller, but they still find him. Okay?
Don't sleep on Scotty Miller.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
I mean, I thought he was gonna like when he was playing at Eastern Washington, he was so dominant. But like,
Yeah.
when Sean McVay, like I knew he was either gonna go to New England, he was either gonna end up in New England,
Wide receiver. Yep.
right? But what he's done with Sean McVay and how he's just exploded on the like no one could have predicted this kind of productivity for him.
No, absolutely not.
You know,
Look at you. Look at you. What is that?
Hey,
Bud-
peasant.
What is that?
Bud
Hard-
Light.
What is it? Hard soda? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a seltzer.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm not a big fan of those things, but
Dude,
it's whatever.
it's soda seltzer though. I'm not even joking when I say that this tastes like Diet Coke, not Diet Coke, but like Coke Zero. I'm not even joking when I say that. But anyway,
Let me
I gotta
try
talk
that.
about
Let me
another
taste
player
it.
who
He said it.
I got to talk about
It's
another player
oddly
who
good.
shouldn't be
good.
MVP. Debo Samuel is a god because that
Okay.
game against Rodgers and the Packers, that
A
third
little
and 7
aftertaste to it.
to try and still get a chance at the field goal. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, what do you classify him as? Like, when are they going to start putting just like a utility player
Yeah,
like
flex.
nominee or position? Debo.
Debo.
Like what do
Oh
you
my
do? You
God.
put him as a tight end? Do you put him as
they ought to have
like an athlete?
And I said this. I think they ought to have a label for a guy like that, and they ought to call it the Swiss Army knife, because there isn't anything he can't do. He can stretch you down the field vertically. He can be that slot receiver. He can tote the rock. He can do all kinds of. He could probably throw it too. He probably throws it better.
He threw a touchdown.
He probably threw
in the
it better
divisional round, I believe.
against.
No, not against the Packers.
Debo
He
threw a
scored-
touchdown at one point.
No,
correct?
he scored like a 70-yard touchdown run against them. Oh wait, no. that was a
Debo
blocked-
threw one.
No, there was a blocked punt in the
I
divisional
promise
round.
you,
I told
threw
you.
one.
I called.
No,
that
yeah, he
game.
did. He threw one. I don't know
Against the
when.
Packers?
Hey, I don't know when, but I know he threw
13 to
one.
10.
No, he threw it. He threw for a touchdown, but I don't know when.
Yeah,
what
that's-
game?
it could've-
That's what I'm
it-
saying.
I was gonna say there was a
I don't
blocked punt
remember,
in
but I know
the game.
they were talking about how he rushed, caught and passed or something crazy in the playoff.
But I was gonna say, like, the Rams. I mean, sure, they just had some explosive plays in that game that allowed them to win the game. Personally, for me, I think that if the 49ers,
He threw it against the Rams.
I think
That's when it was.
I
Yeah,
think
he threw it
if
against
the
the Rams.
49ers and Terrett caught the fucking interception, that was a gimme in the middle of the field,
Well,
it would be.
It was also he was like backpedaling, like he didn't go attack the ball. If you watch it again,
It's so sad to see that because like that could have been the game.
I mean, theoretically it was the game. I was rooting for Jimmy G. I wanted him to get back to a Super Bowl. I wanted him to show all the haters that he could make it to a Super Bowl.
Sorry,
but nothing against the Rams. They won't.
No, because
he's probably done. He's probably done San Fran.
What are some landing spots for Jimmy G? Pittsburgh.
Obviously, Pittsburgh's one.
Would you like Jimmy G? I feel like that'd be a good.
I mean,
bridge quarterback. Bridge quarterback.
That's what I'm looking for.
What about Tennessee? Your Titans.
Tannehill's contract's huge cap hit. He's going to be back. They've even came out and said like we can't even get Aaron Rodgers.
Tampa Bay
could be another one.
There's rumors since Jameis is a free agent. There's rumors Jameis is going back to Tampa.
He could go to New Orleans with the enemy if he gets that job. I would want to go to that job.
Yeah, but he got a short deal too, though. Didn't he get a 1-year deal and then they restructured it and then Jameis, and then he got hurt.
Yeah. Jameis is a free agent. That's all.
Okay, yeah. I thought he got a 1-year deal.
I don't know how they did it, but
I think he only had a 1-year deal because they gave the big fat money to Taysom Hill, and then who knows what's going to go on with him? You got a whole new freaking staff that's going to be popping up in New Orleans.
Anyway, the Super Bowl is set now. Let's go ahead and move on. Some NFL legends have retired since we last talked. Let's go ahead and start off with I won't say the smaller of the two, but
let's go Big Ben.
But the less noticeable in Big Ben from the Steelers. 18 seasons as the starting quarterback.
Never a losing season.
Never a losing
ever.
season.
It was an honor to see his last regular season game in person. That was pretty cool.
You were
there?
Yeah,
Baltimore?
I was there against Baltimore.
Dude, that game had my heart racing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because the entire time that it was happening, I'm like, Trevor Lawrence is the GOAT as well because they're bringing down the house against Carson Wentz.
And it was cool to watch that game in week 8. I guess it's week 18
It's
now.
the last game of the year.
Last game of the year, knowing the playoff indications and keeping your eye on the scores across the league. That was a really cool thing to be a part of in person. So.
Exactly.
Ben Roethlisberger played in 249 games for the Steelers.
And that's also with like having a couple years washed away because of injuries.
From 2004 to 2021, he played 249 games.
One more thing about being at the game, it was actually kind of cool because the M&T Bank Stadium, whoever's running like the scoreboards, they knew the implications, and even though it didn't affect the Ravens, they were consistently showing like Jaguar scores on the board, and you could see the Steelers players react to it on the sideline.
Right.
It was
I remember that. Yeah, I remember watching that at home.
I
Yeah.
know.
So let me throw some stats out there for Ben Roethlisberger. 249 games in his career from 2004 to 2021. He's had a completion percentage in the top 5. He's the top 5 rated quarterback of all time. He had a 64% percentage. Completion percentage, 64,088 yards in a career. Fifth all time.
Yeah.
The only other person that's active that's even close to him is Matt Ryan at 59,000.
Wow. How much A-Rod have?
He threw 418 touchdowns. 418.
That's a lot.
There's a couple of guys ahead of him, but the only other one that's currently playing that has more touchdowns than him is obviously Aaron Rodgers at 449.
His touchdown. Oh, let me say that about A-Rod. His touchdown to interception ratio is insane.
I still don't think he should be.
And then he had a passer rating of 93.5, which is pretty solid in that 90 range. When you look at some of these other guys, the only person who even remotely stands out is Aaron Rodgers at 104. But the guys behind him, the guys behind Ben are Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino, Matt Ryan, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers, John Elway. Matt Stafford is on that list. Warren Moon. Look at Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's
been in Atlanta since 2007, man. He's been there.
Think about like how like not very
from 2008
good.
to 2021 is when his stat line began. Matt Ryan's up there. Matt Ryan's in the he's in the top 10.
That is wow. That's
He's had great seasons.
Yeah.
As their
Longest touchdown thrown, 97 yards.
Ben?
Yeah.
And then
I think that was Juju.
Yeah, so it has to be the Juju pass.
The one stat I want to say that is most impressive about that, he has more 500 passing yard games than any other quarterback.
Yeah, can you believe that? I did not realize that
Big
until
Ben is, without a doubt, like he has thrown. I know one was against the Packers in 2009. One was against the Colts in 2014. I think
One was recent.
And then the third one was against.
Wasn't it last year?
I think it was like 2018. He threw for 500 yards. So that's 3 games. It's more than any other quarterback in NFL history.
I mean, it's crazy.
Still,
I mean,
top 5. Statistically speaking, he's in the top 5
when you grow
of
up
all time.
Watching Ben play, he changed everything for big quarterbacks. He did.
But he could also, he played wide receiver his junior year of high school, and then
he was a receiver.
Yes, and then they moved him to quarterback because he was the only one that could throw. Which is crazy. So he had. That's why he was good at the wiggle. That's why he was good at bending his body, knowing how to get by defenders.
And then those 2 Super Bowl years.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Still,
when he guaranteed the boss. You come back, we're winning a Super Bowl. I would
Dude,
that's some Joe Burrow shit right there. That's what I'm saying.
When that, I know it's biased, but I don't care. It's still the greatest throw I've ever seen. That touchdown to Santonio Holmes in the end zone. You don't throw a triple coverage ball unless you have balls. You don't do that. You just don't fucking do
Cardinals fans still say he had that other foot up in the air.
And so does Coach. But, he also had lost brain cells.
I did, but I busted his balls for years over that. And then we looked at it, and he was clearly in.
He was.
But still, that throw, I go,
yeah.
You don't do
You
that.
can't put it
You
anywhere
don't
else.
do that.
He's probably the only one that can do it.
From a coaching perspective, and Lucas having played quarterback, there's an old saying is that if we can't catch it, they can't catch it. And so you put the ball where we can possibly have a catch. And that's the only place that ball to Holmes could have been put.
And the next quarterback that we're going to talk about has done that more times than I think anyone ever has.
I don't know that there's going to be anybody in a long time. There's nobody on the current list other than Aaron Rodgers. He's significantly behind Tom Brady for the total number of games played, yards passing.
But talk about retired to unretired to retired last week.
But talk about the durability. Tom never
with the exception of 1 year.
Never got hurt.
When he got
2008.
his first game, he got a torn ACL.
I mean, just think about the durability.
He had 1 single-digit win season in his entire 22 years as an NFL quarterback, and that was in 2002, the year after they just beat the greatest show on turf.
I mean,
and they went 9-7.
I mean, hearing stories about how he's just the ultimate teammate. Even though I hated him as a Patriot, and I rooted.
Are they half full or something?
It's piss water. It's Mick Ultra.
Yeah, they go down fast.
Yeah.
They go down fast.
But it's he's the ultimate teammate. Everybody wants to play with him.
All right, so let's take a look at some of these numbers on this Joker. 318 games played. His career.
These stats are
career record of
disturbing.
243 and 73.
What's
Completion.
the win percentage? Does it say? What is that win percentage?
Whatever. Do the math on it.
Yeah.
You're a math guy. His total yards in a career, 84,520. 84,000 yards. The next closest guy who's currently playing, Matt Ryan, 59,000. The next closest guy, Aaron Rodgers at 55,000. It's 30,000 yards of difference. Touchdowns, 624. The next closest guy, Aaron Rodgers. Still currently playing. The next closest guy, Aaron Rodgers, 449.
Oh my God!
The next closest guy from him, Matt Ryan, 366.
See, that's the thing. Matt Ryan is sneakily putting up good numbers for a shitty team.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the big standout: is that what he did in the playoffs. 12,000 yards passing.
This is insane.
12,720 yards passing. The next closest current player, Aaron Rodgers, with less than half of that, 5,000 yards passing. The number of touchdowns in the playoffs, 85 touchdowns in the playoffs alone. The next closest guy, Aaron Rodgers, is 40 touchdowns behind that. The next guy closest is 57 touchdowns away. That's Patrick Mahomes with 28. He's 57 touchdowns just in the playoffs away from him.
I'll just say this.
Career playoff record, 35-12. The next closest guy, Aaron Rodgers, has 12. He's 23 playoff wins behind him.
You know, I'll say this about those Super Bowl victories and losses. That Eagles loss that he had, the second one, he played probably his greatest game he's ever played. He threw for over 500 yards and lost in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. And that entire game was decided by one play, and it was a strip sack. And it was so sad to see that.
Yeah.
No, sure. Eagles deserve it. They played a hell of a game.
They played a hell of a game. They had an answer.
One play, I go, he dotted you up. He threw the ball 20 more times in the Falcons game the previous year and won. He threw the ball 20 less times in the Eagles game and threw over 100 more yards and still lost the game.
Yeah.
He played his best game ever. In that one play decided it all.
I don't know from a fan perspective when any of those numbers will fall.
I don't think they're ever going to fall.
Based on the current length of time that a player plays, I just don't see that happening.
22 seasons.
Yeah.
For me personally, though, he's changed my outlook on life. Not even just like what he has done in the game. He has taught me so much about how if you want something, you got to fucking earn it every single day. Because the fact that he played in the playoffs 3.5 seasons, it would amount to 3.5 regular seasons.
That's absurd.
47 playoff games. To play 2 17-game seasons.
And that is usually with a first-round bye.
Right.
Think about that. Usually with the first-round bye. Not even getting 4 true games, only 3.
Yeah.
And when he says, like, every single practice, I'm out there competing. Every single down, I'm out there competing.
But it's always something else he's working on. Each day he's working on competing on something else, like third downs, red zone. This kind of throw against this kind of coverage.
And I use that in my life. Like, when I was, like, before I got my job, like, it's like, yeah, this fucking sucks, but you got to keep pushing forward because otherwise nobody's going to give you a fucking handout. Yeah. And that's what Tom is, one of those people.
I always thought that was kind of cool was that when he got drafted and he went to Mr. Kraft and told him
like, this is
it was
the
best decision you've ever made. The best decision this organization has ever made was 199, 199th pick.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to beat out Drew.
Well, you saw that ESPN show, the Brady Six, the guys that were chosen before him.
Oh yeah,
he's the ultimate competitor, the ultimate team.
Yeah,
the way is that the one where he cries?
Yeah,
dude.
And
there's something about when he starts crying, you just want to run
I
through a
don't
brick
like
wall.
DNA as much. I don't. But if there is one thing that I don't want him, that there's one thing that Stephen A. said that I do want Tom to do. I don't want him to step away fully from the game of football. I want him to still be a voice in football because
you think he will?
I hope so.
I bet he never. I feel like Brady's just going to be about his brand. Not it's going to.
But like that's what we
it's
thought.
Not going to have
Peyton.
much to do with football.
That's what we thought with Peyton, and look at him and Eli. They have
Well,
a great
I
show.
thought I always thought Peyton was going to end up being a GM/owner sort of thing. I knew Peyton was never going to go away. I think Tom is just going to completely separate himself from football and be a competitor,
doing something else, find something
things.
else.
Like it's going to be one of those things where Tom is dominating something else to where like the younger, like my kids are going to talk about Tom Brady, the fashion dude, and I'm going to be like, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like one of those kind of
But Dad,
things.
he makes killer sneakers. Have you ever
Yeah.
worn TV
I could see him investing in
Under Armour TV 12?
maybe I could see him buying into the Patriots. Like I could see him doing that.
I don't see that.
But-
Me personally, I don't see that
but-
because of how he left there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom Brady, without a question, has changed my life personally. And I don't know what to think now in the NFL growing up without all of these quarterbacks. Peyton, Eli, Rivers, Brady. All these guys.
Brett
that
Favre,
retired.
freaking Troy. I remember the
All
heydays
retired,
of
man.
Troy Aikman and all those guys. I mean, unbelievable.
The new wave is here, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on to the
Is
next
that
one.
is that a good segue or no?
Almost. 'cause
Oh,
we're-
okay.
I
All
wanted to
right.
talk
Dang
about-
it. Oh, man.
Almost, because we're going to talk about like this whole situation with Flores, like not having a job right now. Because,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
this is
He can
absolutely
coach.
It's kind of
ridiculous.
blown
But he
up.
can coach.
It's kind of blown up
Dude,
on him though.
They
Don't
won
you
A little
think?
bit.
games in a row, man. They were 1-7, and they finished. They finished 10-7. No, 9-8. They finished 9-8. They were 1-7. They were dead in the fucking water last year. And you're telling me that he is not as good as Brian Dable, Matt Ifriverus, Doug Peterson, all these other guys. Sure, maybe Doug Peterson is the only one with coaching experience as a head coach.
But he's got the Super Bowl on his name, so that's
Sure.
But
But
that's
think
about it.
Every single one of those teams needs a better defensive coach, maybe other than the Bears. But they need that sort of figure in with them to be as a coach with them, and they don't fucking have it, man. And now
Yeah,
all
I don't
that's
know.
left is the Saints, the Texans, and the freaking shit. Who's left?
Thank you.
Saints, Texans, and Dolphins. And he ain't gonna go back to the
No.
Dolphins.
Well,
so all
no.
he has is the Saints and Texans.
Okay,
And the
my
Texans
biggest
are a dumpster
my
fire.
biggest gripe in all of this, and it has nothing to do with. I think he's a quality coach. I mean, you fell out of the Belichick tree. He had a great opportunity, and it didn't work out for him. He had his few seasons there with the Dolphins, and it didn't work. But how do you burn your bridges the way he's gone, based on the interviews that he's had? And I don't want to put race or any of that stuff in there, but man, this stuff is blowing up. How management views their personnel. If I'm an owner and he's smashing my organization, I'm not going to sit there and let that and take it. I'm going to say that it's categorically false.
right.
And to say, they always say that there's the truth on one side, the truth on the other, and then somewhere in the middle is where it's probably at. I don't know of an owner now who's going to take a shot on a guy like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Because if things
won't
go
talk
south,
much on it, but like,
Yeah.
no, because my whole thing is
ridiculous.
this. Okay, he's a great coach and all that stuff, but what happens if he comes to your organization and in 3 years you're ready to get rid of him, and he's going to try and burn your house down by saying what you didn't do for him? You know what I mean? Is there an NFL owner that wants that?
yeah.
I thought Coach Flores did a heck of a job in Miami.
They
but
won 8
it's just-
games in a
Yeah.
row.
I mean, we were saying that. Like
It's
there
a
had.
tricky situation,
I mean, that's the
though.
thing. There has to be something going on behind the scenes that, like, what
The
he is
biggest
what
issue
he's.
I have in that whole is the fact that he was fired in the first place. That's
Yeah.
the biggest issue I have.
Yeah.
Dayball, heck of a candidate. Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, great candidate. But there's no question about it. Brian Flores is one of the best candidates for the job. Massively. I mean, let's go back to his year one with like the Minka Fitzpatrick trade, the first big loss. He ended up going 6-10, massive overachievement. And then Tua sucks.
Yes,
He's bad. I've
He
seen
is.
high schoolers with a better arm than Tua Tagovailoa. or
Jalen
however you
Hurts
say his
is
fucking
without a
name.
question the better choice.
Look,
right now.
listen. I'm someone who thinks Brian Flores is a top 15 coach in the NFL.
Yes.
And I'm not a political
Speak your
person.
mind,
I'm
boy.
not a political person. But look, I'm willing to
It is kind of
call
horseshit that it is.
Brian
all-
Flores is getting fucked. And
Yeah,
I'll
it is
straight up
kind
say
of
it.
horseshit. It is really.
I
horseshit, right?
don't disagree with that, but do you fucking burn down and burn your bridges doing it?
Look,
Is it going
I
to
don't
come
know- I
back?
don't
Is it
have
going to
much-
come back and prevent him from?
I
Because I could see
think
him
the
going.
reality of the situation is NFL owners won't want to take a shot on him because of this. And like you all were just talking about,
Right,
'cause,
right.
like let's say he gets to year 3 and he's put up 3, 6, and 10 seasons, and it's time to move on. That's tough for an owner to move on from. But the reality of it is based on his current resume, massive. overachievement.
That's what I talk about. The coach here locally, who coaches basketball, Garland. He's made more chicken salad out of chicken shit than I've ever seen.
right.
And I think that's what Brian Flores had. He had chicken shit and tried to make chicken salad, and then when it didn't go the way management wanted it, they
But
cut
the
him loose.
Dolphins
right?
are finally competitive,
It
which makes
no
zero
sense.
sense.
that was
and
the
they
most
did it-
shocking
and they
part.
did it-
Already played for him.
Yeah.
They want
Like,
Right.
The
but
only
but
person
that's what
who
I'm so
didn't
confused.
like Brian Flores, according to reports, is Tua. Fuck Tua. Go get another quarterback.
Right.
I mean, like seriously, I fucking hate Tua, bro. Like
Do you hate
just
him as
got me
much
on
as
my
I hate?
fucking
Do you hate
soapbox.
him as much as I hate Aaron Rodgers?
Probably more because I
That
watched
is
Tua
a
play.
fucking lie.
That's
I
a
do
lie.
not hate him more.
I watched Tua play.
I don't
against
think
my
you do.
Titans,
You're too young to
and
have
Brian
my
Flores, maybe it wasn't against the Titans, but Brian Flores was fucking chewing Tua, and he deserved to chew Tua. Oh my gosh, I can't stand Tua, and the fact that Brian
can't tell.
Flores went
You know, you need
10
to-
and 6 or 11-7,
You
whatever
know-
the fuck he went this year.
You know.
God bless Brian Flores. I hope he gets another.
You know
job.
what? Hey Lucas, you
I
sugar.
need Trey to tap in for me now because I'm gonna go on a fucking rant.
Hey. Lucas sugarcoats things so much. I can never tell what he's really wearing.
We didn't even bring Tua into this, and he fucking let the fuse blow. Let's move on to the list now.
All right, here we go. Dave Portnoy released a list.
These are
The young guns of the NFL. He picked 12. There are probably 5 guys he left off this list that
We
really-
need to talk about
that are questionable
Well,
at best.
Go down the list, though.
All right, number one best young gun, and I have a hard time arguing this, is Josh Allen.
I mean,
Multi-tools.
He should have been in the championship game.
Yeah.
He absolutely should.
You talk about a guy who can put his team on his back and carry them. Holy
his
shit!
face that they showed of him sitting on the sideline while the Chiefs were driving down the field with 13 seconds left. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. This is happening.
Right. Yep. Number 2, nobody's gonna freaking dispute Joey B.
No,
JB9.
even
Nobody's going. I mean, did you see his Nike thing? His
Nah.
Nike necklace.
oh
With,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
400
The one
some
that
fucking
and
diamonds.
they
Yeah,
and
they're
they,
real diamonds. 'cause
They
I'm
sat
not
they
too
sat by
poor.
side, The Rock and him.
He said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're real. I think I make too much money for them not to be. But it's a freaking Nike logo and it says JB9 on it.
Oh,
But I like that.
He's got a
I
big-
like that. He's got some great swag. So I like that. There's no disputing Joey Burrow belongs there. Number 3, I don't think this should be here, but Portnoy loves the fucking Pats, is Mac Jones. Don't see that. Don't see that at all.
I mean, he had a good rookie year. It wasn't great, but
I think he was about as good as a rookie playing for a team like he had. They couldn't protect him, and shit like that happens. I think he's too high on the list at number 3, but he could probably be in the top 6 or 7, I would think, as a young gun. Number 4, way too low on the list. I could put him in the top 3. He could probably fit 1 or 2.
We're done talking about Tua, Lucas, so you can sit your ass back.
now Tua's going to appear a little bit. So
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes all the way down at number 4.
That's
I don't
crazy,
know.
though,
I
man.
don't know of a quarterback right now as a young gun who is that big of a game changer.
okay, so here's my question.
But he has
Would Patrick
thing-
Mahomes be as good as he is if he didn't have Tyreek Hill or Jason Kelsey?
No
if
question
if
about
one
it.
of them, if he
You
did
think
not,
so?
Oh no, excuse me. No chance he would be. I missed
because he has never had a chance to play without one of them. Those two are durable, and they haven't gotten hurt yet, and he's never had a chance to play.
The most interesting question, I mean, because obviously a wide receiver and tight end's lifespan is shorter than a quarterback
Right.
in the NFL. I'm so curious to see what happens when he doesn't have those two. But
Because
it always
his
seems
his,
like in the NFL,
his first
though-
read, I'm not drunk either. His first read is Tyreek Hill. His second read is Jason Kelsey. He doesn't go to his third damn option. He had the swing around.
I love his little spin around shit that
He-
he does. Like every other play.
I'm gonna go the other way.
And
now.
I hate-
It works like a third of the time.
I
People are, oh my
hate-
god, look at this guy.
I
Nobody
hate
talks about
Patrick
him 2/3 of the
Mahomes'
time.
and then I throw
Waddle,
it behind my
so-
back. I throw it behind my back, or I throw it left-handed, and I still make the throw.
I hate his stupid ass waddle that he does when he goes out, and that his stupid ass brother and his stupid ass fiance doing those stupid ass TikTok shit.
Well,
I can't stand that
That was why
bullshit.
America was rooting against him.
yeah.
God,
That's really why. It was
Why? Hey,
if he was
I hate his fucking
What?
cadence. I can't stand his cadence. But yeah,
we're good, we're good.
I say hey, we're gold. Let's go, gold. We're good.
I love a little off topic.
The
I love
communication.
NFL cadence. I
Yeah,
love that those
we
are
did
like
that in the show. We did NFL cadences.
Yeah.
All right, let me do one for you.
All right.
Green 80.
Green 80.
Green 18. I'll do. Oh, hold on. I got one for you. Here we go.
Green 18. Green 18 second.
Who's that? Do we know who
Yeah,
that
Aaron
is?
Rodgers.
Wow. I love how everybody knows everybody's case.
We did a whole show on him.
White 80. That's Big Ben.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's the set go is slurred.
In all
Sing out.
seriousness, you know who had one of the best high school cadences of all time? Patman's here. He had one of the best cadences I ever heard. When I was a sophomore in high school and I was on JV, you were at varsity, I could hear your cadence from across the school. Loved it. One of the best cadences of all time.
Jesus.
Hey, you gonna kiss him
so
now?
Viggs coached against Patrick, right? When he was still playing. He called him the field general, the little field general.
You knew Pat could call everybody in the stadium.
Hey,
could hear
Lucas.
Pat's cadences.
You gonna go kiss him now?
I love to kiss.
Okay. What the
Sorry, that was just a joke.
All right, go down the list a little bit
Here we
more.
go. Let's go to number 5. Kind of tailed off at the end of the season. Could have played better.
Trey's going to
did
check
it.
in for him.
Kyler Murray. Well, get over here, Trey. Get over here. We're going down our list of
We have
Dave
a fifth
Portnoy.
guest joining us here today.
yeah, Trey.
What's up, big
Welcome
man?
back.
What's up, Big Trey?
So
If you heard our
Dave
last episode,
Portnoy
this is who Trey is.
Dave Portnoy, you know who he is, right?
Oh yeah.
So Dave created a list of top 12 young guns in the NFL. The first 4 are Josh Allen, number 1, Joe Burrow, number 2, Mac Jones, number 3, and we totally said that doesn't belong there. Mahomes, number 4, and we just hit number 5 right now, Kyler Murray.
After this season, what do you think about the switch from 1 and 2? Burrow 1, Allen 2.
I think in terms of what Josh Allen does for his team, he's got to be 1-2 somewhere in there. I mean, I don't
He's
even know
so
if
good.
you could have 1A and 1B and both be 1, and you could flip them easy.
Yeah.
Number 6, Justin Herbert. I love that guy. What a great freaking presence he has.
He's good.
He's good. He's good. Number 7, I don't see it yet. I didn't see it. CJ loved this guy. I just don't see it with the shit team that he's on, and that's Trevor Lawrence.
No, right now, no, but I still think that without a question, he is very talented.
I won't disagree with his talent level. But
I
right
just think
now
he's in the wrong situation.
Me
yeah,
too.
he's in a
Like-
bad
I
situation.
agree with that.
I feel bad for him.
He's in a bad situation. No doubt about it. One guy that's been down on the list here. The next 2 guys are so low on the list. It's really, Zach Wilson. I just don't see him from the Jets being even in the top 10. Nowhere in the top 10.
What?
Not Russell
he
Wilson,
wasn't-
Zach Wilson.
I know.
Russell's
I
too
realize-
old for this list.
I realize that, but like, what? He hasn't done anything.
Right,
You know,
right,
it's like
Right. Yeah. The other guys have at least shown that they can lead their team and win. You can't even really say that about Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't really had a signature dominating win that shows his true skill level.
no.
I mean, when you think about Lawrence, all right, he shows up in Jacksonville. They put the entire. I mean, look at his completion attempts. Look at the amount of passes he throws a game. That's all they fucking do, and he doesn't have anyone.
Right. So he's in a shitty situation.
It's like Zach Wilson.
Situation.
He's in
Yeah.
a shitty situation,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. They're going to get better. though. Robert Sala's a freaking good coach.
I hope so.
He's a good coach. I think they got he's the freaking Garland Williams of fucking New York. He's making chicken salad out of chicken shit. They're going to get better. The Jets are going to get better.
We'll see.
I think so. The next, I think he's too far down the list, and he's a young gun, is Lamar Jackson. He's a fucking difference maker.
I
When
agree.
he's healthy, he's top 5.
He has to be.
Oh yeah.
I would put the next 3 guys. I don't even know if I would put them anywhere near the top 10. Number 10, Baker Mayfield. I don't have any respect for him. Not because he's not talented, but
Was OBJ the problem?
well, here's the thing.
Look
It's
at the
the
receiving core he had. Dude.
yeah.
Holy shit.
including tight ends
And
and
Joku,
running backs.
2 of them.
Hooper. I mean, OBJ. You got Landry.
Jarvis
you got
Jarvis
you got-
Landry. Yeah. What's his name? Njoku.
Yeah, and Austin Hooper too.
Austin Hooper, and then you got freaking Nick Chubb.
I mean, how
Kareem Hunt,
Yeah, Kareem Hunt.
I that's what, like you
The
got.
kicker.
I mean, you.
Wyatt Teller at guard.
Well, yeah, he's a.
Now the
Liberty,
highest. Now,
Liberty. We're going
now-
Frederick County.
now the highest paid freaking offensive lineman in the league, and I coached against him.
Yeah,
Freaking
you did.
Sean
Yeah.
Tapman.
I watched him.
Sean Tapman, when I was in school, he was like, dude, he was like a young Clay Matthews when I went up against him.
Yeah, Sean Tapman, and Sean Tapman's a good dude, and he had to
Sean's-
line up against fucking Wyatt
Good
Teller.
luck, buddy.
Yeah, it was not
Hey,
good. Not
Good luck tonight. That's
Not
all you need.
good.
A little pat on the butt.
Yeah, Sean Tapman. I don't even know what he does for a living, but he's a good dude.
He's
But
going to get married.
is he?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah,
I
went
called
to
him.
school with
I called him Rat-a-tat Tatman.
I went to school with him, and he was like, are you related to Coach Mintier? And I'm like, yeah, what gave it away? Oh, your face, I guess. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Okay.
Fuck you too.
No, he's a good. Guy.
And then the next two, I have no idea. Dave Portnoy must have been drinking or eating tainted pizza. Just you know how he had
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
him and his
His
sliced
feet-
fucking pizza
Reviews.
tasting shit. Is Justin Fields. As much as a Bear fan as I am, I just don't see Justin Fields doing
He's
anything.
like
that-
every Ohio quarterback. It's not good.
He's that Ohio State
Quarterback.
quarterback that gets to the league and doesn't know what the
Except
hell
for
they're
Joe
doing.
Shiesty.
Right.
Except for Joe Burrow.
I mean, look, Cardell Jones, J.T. Barrett, Terrell Pryor,
Tate Martell.
retiring. I mean, you named when's the last great Ohio State quarterback to make
Kirk
it? in the league?
Herbstreit.
Look what they use
Troy
in college. They use their legs.
Exactly.
They can't use their legs in the NFL.
Yes.
No, not consistently. No.
The last good
Other
one
than
would probably
Terrell
be
Pryor
Jalen
with the
Brown.
longest rushing touchdown as a quarterback in NFL history. Against the
Don't
Steelers.
talk about that because it happened against the Steelers.
Hey, you're
Shut
talking to
your-
a Pittsburgh native,
Yeah,
diehard Steeler
okay,
fan.
Like I said,
know.
don't talk about it
God damn it.
because it happened down in Oakland. Shut your face.
And then the last one, I have no idea where this ever came from, and it probably fucking came out because Brady retired. Is Kyle Trask, Florida freaking boy who never? I don't think he threw one pass the entire season.
Was he even active?
I don't.
I don't even know if he was
No,
active.
Blaine
Gabbert.
Gabbert. Blaine
That's what I'm
Gabbert was the
saying.
one.
I don't even think he was active for one game.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl champ Blaine Gabbert. Okay?
All right. So who's missing? There are 5 guys significantly missing.
Tua
Jalen- Jalen Hurts.
He's going to throw a haymaker. at
Jalen
me.
Hurts from
I know.
Philadelphia.
Jalen
He led them to the
Hurts
playoffs.
absolutely deserves to
So
be
is
there.
this rookies included in
These
this?
are young guns, 25 and under.
Top. It was Dave Portnoy's top 12, but these are the 5 ones that are missing.
These are guys that are
So
that
these
missing.
can be rookies on this list.
Well, no,
Yeah.
they're yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Young
Kyle
Are we going to
Trask.
talk about Micah Parsons?
No,
Well, no,
no,
they're
quarterback.
all quarterbacks.
Quarterback.
Yeah,
All quarterbacks. Yeah, Michael Parsons is
Jalen
badass.
Hurts
We already
deserves
talked
to
about
be
him
there.
earlier.
Bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I watched him play in high school.
Sure,
We did.
had
We
one
watched him
bad
play.
game.
He was a freak.
He was a freak. We watched him play against St. Joe's Prep in the finals when they got their ass smacked.
Oh, fuck, was he good?
He was good. Trey Lance.
I mean, he was good against James Madison. I'll say that.
He's got good quarterback pedigree. What it remains to be
Just
seen
not
whether
to
he'll
beat
be
out Jimmy G.
right. Not enough to do that. The other one, Jordan Love. Rodgers leaving fucking Green Bay. I can see it coming.
Garoppolo might be heading out of there.
You think?
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't. I just don't see Jimmy G leaving San Francisco. I just don't. You know, he's
Are you a Jimmy G fan? Do you like Jimmy?
not 100%. I think he makes a lot of mistakes. I just do. And
But he's a winner. Though.
he is. I'm not.
He
I'm not
wins
taking-
games
I'm not-
somehow. He wins.
And he's always dinged up all the time.
Games.
Too. He's dinged up in
Who?
his career.
Jimmy G somehow he wins games. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why you got $120 million from San Fran.
Lucas has a wonderful pick, and the next one is Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa. That's it.
Tagovailoa.
There is no N in the name for Tagovailoa, but that's how it's pronounced.
he's
I did
back
hear
up at
that. I did find out that that's how you say it, Tagovailoa.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
To a Tagovailoa.
a bunch of letters put
And
together.
then Sam Darnold is the oldest out of the group. He's 26 now. But I just don't see him making a difference in freaking
it's
Carolina
It's
either.
those USC. It's like those Ohio State quarterbacks and those USC quarterbacks. They don't do much when they get to the pros.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a Penn State running backs.
Yeah. I mean, they don't do anything either.
Miles
Yeah.
Sanders.
What have you done for me now?
Huh?
What's he done lately? I mean, true gifted NFL running backs.
Yeah, he's not like
definitely
not a
he's not,
Derrick
he's,
Henry.
he's not like
We're gonna get
he's not
one
like a
of
Nick
them.
Chubb. He's
Nah.
not
Oh
And
yeah,
like
then
just
one
one. I'm
from
sorry.
the-
Right, then which one do you want?
I don't care. Let's. What do we got? What are our
So
choices?
you got Goldie, which is like a blonde ale, Belgian wheat, which is like Blue Moon. You have a brown ale and a stout.
You want to go brown ale?
That's fine.
All right, we're gonna go the brown ale. Yeah. And then go get that other one, which is a blonde. And that's from Roy Pitt's
All right.
brewery in
Final thoughts on the
Pennsylvania,
list, though?
Chambersburg.
Final thoughts on the list, though.
Yeah, I don't see how you can have.
Portnoy was drunk. Had to be drunk when he made it.
I don't. You know
I
what?
mean, he also tweeted in the first half of that championship game, if you ever thought the Bengals had a chance, you don't know football. Well, okay.
It's on.
And the story is written.
I know.
Yeah, I look at the list between Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Mac
He also
Jones
makes
is
a
not
lot
in
of
that
money,
top
so we
five.
don't know shit.
You got to put Lamar Jackson up there. I think Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and maybe Justin Herbert as your top young guns quarterbacks. The other guys have yet to prove to me anything that's going to be.
I'm part of the show now.
All right, so Patrick, we're going to need our glasses.
We need glasses.
Yeah, we're going to need 4 glasses.
You can be part of the show after you get our glasses. Okay.
So,
Being a good servant.
yeah.
Anyway, all right, so we're going to move on to
Beer
two beers to
tasting.
end off the show, and then we'll get out of here.
We're going to get
That
out.
way the pub will continue on after.
Who's getting the Marines?
I'll take the Marine.
All right. So we got a little bit of a downside. We lost 2 of our pub members. We lost Jeans and we lost our boy Guns. So we're going to spill a little bit for our homies today.
Yeah.
2 fine animals that fucking are gone before they should be.
All right.
But
Well, Gunny was an old.
he was an old man. He was an old man, but
His service is over.
his tour of duty is
Commandant is right next to
the
me.
commandant
I
of
don't
the
care what you say.
commandant of the Marine Corps, and I said the general staff is complete. Foster's up there, Jack's up there, Gene, and now Guns. The staff is complete. We've got all their little urns back, so the little boxes with all their ashes.
Which beer are we doing first?
All right, let's do the one that I started with. So this is Roy Pitt's Brewing, and Roy Pitt's is out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. This is called Best Blonde. It's a German style golden lager. It's only a 4.5%, so it's nothing more than a Bud Light's 4.5.
I love the slap labels. I love these breweries that just slap the label on it.
I was up there today. I went to go visit a friend. He was finishing his last high school home match today. I've followed him ever since he was a young kid. He finished second in the state last year, lost in the state finals 2-1, and he's making his run for gold now. So he's going to give it one more shot, and hopefully Carl can bring home the gold. But it was good to see them. And then after we met, we went out and went to Roy Pitt's Brewing and had lunch there. And I got a flight and they had a number of good beers, and I like this one so much that
Damn it.
I gotta look at the label.
I grabbed the 6-pack on the way home because it's worth drinking.
It's light.
It's got a good amber.
It's got the gold. It's got the gold.
It has a traditional lager smell to it. There's nothing. It's very clear. Very crisp.
Oh, yeah.
Sharp.
It's clean.
That's
Finishes
very
well.
Clean.
Yeah.
Goes down like butter.
Straight butter. Yeah. And you
That'll just go straight down the hatch.
Yeah. So when we look at these, it finishes well. Great taste. It's not. It's almost got a little bit of a full body. It's not exactly a light beer in any way.
It's not no bite.
No bite.
Nothing
Nothing aftertaste. And once again, if you're sitting at a summer party and there's a cooler full of these beers, you're going to go back and you're going to smash.
We're
these
going to
things.
hammer this.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not.
Big Nut's going to kick his flip flops off.
I am going
I'm not
to
gonna
sit back.
I'm not going to pay for them because they're $12 a six pack.
Holy.
They're $12 a six pack.
Okay, well,
But that's how microbrews go.
yeah. I like the color. I like the color on it.
Yeah, very clear, very
Yeah.
crisp. Has a great.
All right, I'll introduce the next beer.
You want it? There we go.
Yeah,
Box Office is one of my favorite places. They got great beer down
I've
there.
been here. I think about myself. I've been there about 3 or 4 times now. It's a small little place here in Strasburg, Virginia. One of the best places for food and beer to just chill out and hang. With
Yeah,
your
and it's
friends.
big enough to accommodate a fair amount of people.
It was an
Both-
old. It was legitimately an old box office, like an old movie theater that they gutted and
Yeah,
turned
Yeah.
into a brewery, which is
and
awesome.
it's very clean. It's got a really good, like an old world freaking industrial look to it and stuff like that. The beers are phenomenal. So this is a brown lager.
Yep.
Get that one. What's that? Oh, it's 5.4
Yep.
ABV. So it's a little bit more than a regular traditional beer. I like their
Did
labels.
They fill it there? Or
Yeah,
were
they
brew?
can them right there.
They can them right there.
Yep.
They'll
Wow.
fill them and put a top right on it
Wow.
for you.
Topper off. Yep.
Yeah. I've had a number of their beers. I can't honestly tell you if I've had this brown.
I've had so many of them. I can't like. I like the red ale that they got down there.
Yeah. I'm big. I tasted the red ale from Roy Pitts, and it had a little bit too much bitter to it. I was not as happy. But if you go to Antietam Brewing down in freaking Hagerstown, Maryland, Antietam Brewing makes a freaking Imperial Red. Dude, you'll just go face down on the carpet just freaking drinking those things because you just keep hammering them.
You got that like oak finish. That's well, yeah. They got the oak finish. They got the.
I was expecting something a little darker,
someone
and
trying
a
to
little
fight you
heavier,
now?
and it's not.
Looks heavier or not as heavy as it
Not
looks.
as heavy
Not
as it.
even close.
It's got like.
Does anybody
Is it
get like
oak?
a pretzel taste to this?
You know, I
No,
had
just
one.
give
I
me oak.
tasted one today that was a pretzel. Had a
Have you ever
pretzel.
had a shock top pretzel beer?
No,
Give it a try.
What?
shocked.
It tastes like a soft pretzel. I swear to God.
Yeah, that's the one I had today. I
I put
tasted.
cheese in it. Does that mean I get the cheese? With
I
the
tasted a little bit of it. It doesn't start out that way, but it finishes just like a freaking soft pretzel.
Oak
I'll tell you what.
oak taste a little bit.
Roy Pitts, when we went to the brewing place, this place is really cool. So they have 3 different locations. They have a place where you can go merchandise, you can do flights, you can taste
All at the brewery.
Yes. So they have this merchandise area and taste testing area, and you can taste all of their varieties of beers that they have. And you can order. They have another section off of that where you can order their wood fired and stone pizzas, stone ground pizzas and stuff like that. They have a whole. Then you go around to the other side and they have a little restaurant there, but you can get flights of beer as well.
Yeah.
And then they have another section that has a full service bar with wine, alcohol, whatever. And then they make a whole variety of martinis and shit like that. It was very cool. It was bigger than I thought, but it's called Roy Pitts. It's in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania on 3rd Street. It's a little tucked away. Parking is not real good. The parking is not real
Parking
good.
at Box Office Brewery is good. Okay,
Yeah,
just
they got plenty because right next to the fire department.
Yeah.
guys. We only have one more weekend of football, and I'm so sad. I don't count the Pro Bowl. I don't care what you say. I don't count the fucking Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
We only have one more weekend of football.
And then we got to
So
wait.
Enjoy it next weekend, because then we have 7 months of just
Well, we got the draft.
nothing.
We got
And
our
have the
draft.
We
Our
have the
world
draft, and we will
famous,
definitely
our
be
world
here
famous
for that. I
draft
can promise
discussion.
you that.
Gotta love it.
But anyway, Trey and Lucas, thank you.
Tua.
And
50-50 tag team over here.
You see him? He had a hold of his little string. in
Lucas
the corner.
Tua-Toba-Lega.
and Biggs, thank you for being back here on
Yeah.
actually our 100th episode.
Yes,
Is it really?
100
That's
episodes.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
the pub is full for our 100th episode. I appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah.
Enjoy this last weekend of football because I hope the Super Bowl's a fucking banger.
Yeah, I hope
it
so.
is.
I
hope
hope
it's
I hope
really
it
good.
goes. I hope it goes to overtime.
It'd be nice to have it come down to one of those long field goals or something
Some
unique,
crazy.
something unique that makes it a special game.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed.
All right, we'll
Peace
see you.
out.
All right.
Love you guys.